Why did I start this business? I started this business because I realized that everybody smokes stale flowers, whether you buy from a legal store in the dispensary or you get it from the black market. Because literally almost every single person in the world smokes stale cannabis flowers. And the real reason why I realized this is because I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled by the fact that I am very close friends with my grower. The person that I buy my flowers from, we're on a first name basis, and he calls me every time it's perfectly ready. I get to go over, I'll get a nice mason jar, throw perfectly selected buds in it, and then I get to smoke them. And when I bring them home and I smoke them, as I'm using up the jar, I keep transferring it to smaller and smaller jars. So there's less airspace inside and the buds stay as fresh as possible. And when it's a large mass of buds, it actually retains its moisture for quite a long period of time. And I get to nurse and enjoy it for maybe about 2 weeks before it starts becoming crunchy and falling apart and crumbles to the touch. But quite honestly, everybody gets it when it's that crumbly, dry to the touch moment. And I realize that I'm totally spoiled by being friends with my grower. And that when I take an analysis of the way things go, in a legal market, it's on average about 21 days from the perfect moment when the flower is dry and ready for consumption for when you can buy it in a dispensary shelf. Because it takes over a week at times for a lab test to come back. So the flower's perfect. I send it out to get a lab result. 7 days later, it comes back with a result. I then package it. Takes a couple days and distribute it on a bunch of different stores. It's almost 2 weeks before the store actually gets their hands on it. And then I walk in the store, maybe within a week later, and I finally buy it and consume it. So it's over 3 weeks old. On the black market, it's even worse. Product generally travels across many state lines, passing through multiple middlemen's hands. And true to form, it could be wait longer than 21 days before a black market customer can buy their flower. And one simple test, if you could take a nug and squeeze it between your fingers and it crunches and starts to fall apart, it's already devoid of moisture. And when it goes from 10% moisture to zero, it's actually lost a significant amount of the terpenes. You'll notice that the smell of a dry bud, you almost have to hold the nug right up into your nose in order to still smell it. And people will convince themselves, oh, that's a beautiful smell. Except normally you should be able to hold the bud about arm's length away from you when it's perfectly fresh, and it'll stink beyond what you can handle, even from that distance. So these are just simple tests that you could tell if you too are smoking stale flower. And I'm putting in a spray can form the ability to turn back the clock, to add the stank back to your dank, and experience the entourage effect like it was meant to be when the product was first at its most perfect moment for consumption. This product is fragile, it goes stale very, very quickly. And in order to enjoy it at that perfect moment, we need to control the terpene content to be able to add it back to the plant material. And that is what the spray does. It's a nanoparticleized micro droplets of terpenes to both add the moisture back and add the scent back that you love back to your plant material. We can either enhance it with fruit flavors and add fruit profiles to something that was very weed tasting. We can even make the weed flavor more pronounced by adding that flavor right on top of itself. But ultimately, most people are even tempted to, like weed marijuana purists. They're like, oh, I grow my own weed at home. I really don't want to alter the product. But here's the thing. A lot of people who grow at home, they give to several friends to maybe to buy, to distribute it for them. There have been times you've had to take product back because friends haven't sold it fast enough. When you take it back, it's normally a couple of weeks old, overly dried and stale, and you turn it into other things. You turn it into edibles. You try to make oil out of it. If you try to make oil out of stale flour, you get a product called shatter. It's not very good. There's no flavor to it. It doesn't even sell. You can even add the terpenes back using the spray to stale flour and then extract it, and then you'll get a wet sugary result that's actually rich with terpenes that people are willing to use. So beyond taking product once it goes stale and then it has no useful purpose but edibles and these other forms that we've come to be used, you can actually reverse the clock and actually make it palatably usable again with our sprays. That is the point of these sprays, to actually reverse the aging process of cannabis plants and to put that control back in your hands, where you can nostalgically recreate the best moment to conceive flower by spraying it again and re-experiencing it again. Most people can actually retell the best flower they've ever consumed. They would always tell you about the looks and the smell. But it's hard for them to recapture that experience because all the time they're buying and smoking weed that cannabis that no longer has smell to it. and that the smell and the entourage effect is what nuances and makes the whole effect of being the best experience you ever had something that you can recreate. And we are now delivering that in this product with an aerosol spray can form of terpenes.